are now about to witness.
Oh, hey, welcome to Off the Bench, the Off the Bench podcast. I'm your host, Mark Wiggins, and here we are once again as we start the new year off, that we have to do a couple of things. We need to finish up and discuss the word of the year for 2023 and introduce to you and break down and encourage you to do your word for 2024. But first, before we do that, we'll make sure you go to the magazine and subscribe. Go to offthebenchmagazine.com. Make sure you subscribe to the magazine. I don't know how many times to tell you that it's free. It's absolutely free. We thank you for those who've registered and got the magazine and are getting the magazine. You're getting your Woke Wednesdays. You're getting them early. You're getting information. You get the magazine release. Although they're doing a magazine every month and a half or 2 months, it's still a great magazine. We're looking to roll it back up as we get into 24. We get more writers involved in the magazine. If you have a topic or a form that you want to talk to and get on this platform, please inbox me or email me, tag me, whatever, and let's talk about getting you and your message on this platform, because this platform is growing and I'm excited about it. Again, subscribe to the podcast. Wherever you listen to your podcast, just look up Off the Bench with Mark Wiggins and you will find me, and you can get this information. Go back and listen to some great interviews and shows and things of that nature, so you can make sure that you don't miss anything. When I'm talking about it, it's probably pretty good. Posted just a few days ago that we have syndicated the podcast to another level. We are now on Global Hits Radio, internet radio station. It is a very good radio station, and we have shouts out to BJ Martin and her team for bringing on the podcast. So you go there, you can hear it live and listen to some great music and some great formatting. BJ's got a show on there. There's some other people with some shows that are great listening for you. You can listen at work and on the radio, wherever you are. But I know that I'm there. So if you're missing me here, you can catch me over there and catch some other people over there. We're reaching new markets and new spaces. So that being the case, we got a lot of stuff coming on up in the air. First, again, now thank you for all those who helped make King Conversations Amazon #1 bestseller. Appreciate the effort. Give yourself a hand. It's amazing. I thank you for replying to the call. When I put that out there, I was like, okay, we really just hope this gets to this next level. I didn't really seek a lot of accolades for the book, like, oh, let's make this #1 seller in Amazon. Let's get everybody to buy it. I had a mission, I had a tasking, and I executed. That's where I usually stop. I get it done. But we needed to do a little bit more this time. We needed some marketing. This is why you have a team. This is why you have backing. Shouts out to Own It Publishing. Marisa is definitely my coach on that one. She is also responsible to get these magazines up and out when I got started several years ago. If you've been riding along at home, you know this. But that being the case, there's a big conference come up in the DR, the Own It conference. I'll be speaking there on King Conversations. We'll be launching its men's conference there as well. So there's a lot coming up. That's in April. So if you're trying to attend, hit me up again on that. And there's maybe still space for you to get in. Is going to be off the chain. But make sure you go get your copy. Hard copies are now available on demand on Amazon as well. You can just get a copy, send it. Now, if you want a signed copy, again, hit me up on the inside and I'll sign, purchase your copy and I will sign it for you and you can have that copy. I'm excited about this book with 30 plus authors involved, men, just talking about different points of views of different topics and gems and nuggets. And what I found highly interesting is why I can't, this is for men, other men. It's also for women. If you want to get some insight into what we're thinking about and how to maybe talk to your young king or deal with your king, get this book too. This book is for you. not just for men. It's about men, and you are more than helping to read, because I've gotten a lot of feedback from the female audience who is enjoying the read. They're finding out a lot about people they didn't know. People keep talking to me. So that deck you built with your dad, I'm like, man, I really want to know if that deck is still there. Next time I'm in Cleveland, I may try to ride by and see if that whole property is still there, because that would be hilarious. We definitely got that done. Next big thing coming up, June 22nd. June 22nd is the King Conversation. I'm sorry, the Extreme Effort Business Conference is June 22nd here in Tyson's Corner. You can go to the website and register there. Eventbrite is on Eventbrite. Look up Extreme Business Conference. Register there. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. We got speakers coming from Nashville, we got Carolinas, Ohio, Maryland. Of course, got speakers from Virginia coming in to talk about business and you in business, to give you some tools that you need for your toolbox while we're trying to motivate the entrepreneur and the business owner or the C-suite person to go get that next level. What I'm encouraging is, if you are a business owner, you have people under you, some managers or some people that are growing, just go in and pay and send them to the conference. Just send them. I'm there, so we know the information is going to be dope. My team is dope. I don't mess around people that can't bring the heat. That's just not going to happen. So send your squad. Call again. Send a bulk buy. Send it in. You come along too, because it's always something to learn. I'm excited about what I'm going to learn from the speakers that are going to be there as well. It's going to be a great conference. So we definitely want you to get along with that. Now, let's get into Word of the Year discussion. As you know, each year, Mark has a Word of the Year. Last year's word was undefer. Undefer. And the concept was simply the concept of layaway. We all probably remember layaway. We go to Sears, we go to Burlington Coat Factory, we go to men's clothes downtown Cleveland, and put stuff on layaway. Here's $20, and I'm gonna put it there. And they take your clothes and they defer them, and you just pay on it until you get it done. Boom, 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 and then you get your stuff out of defer of layaway, and it's yours. It was yours when you put it away, but it's all the way yours. You have to take it home when you put the money down to finish off the payment. That's what I'm talking about in 2023. Is what did you defer as it pertains to your own personal success, your own personal growth, anything that you have put off because life was lifing, and you went back to go get. Maybe it was that dream. Maybe it was that book. There's several people in the King Conversations who've been wanting to write for a long, long time, or looking for an opportunity just like this one to get that book done. So what I had to do was, because my actions of undeferring my dream of producing another book allowed them to undefer their dream of becoming an author, and boom, there it was, just like that. What did you defer that you can bring back out? Some of you, it was confidence, your go get them, your gumption, your tenacity have all been deferred. Your power, your position, you have deferred it to someone else to make the decision. You have deferred it to, because it is easier that way, that I don't have to deal with it. You have done something with your stuff, and you need to go back and get it. How do you go back and get that thing you put over there that's causing you strife, right? It's causing you some uneasiness, some unreadiness, as we like to say, before the vote. Is there any unreadiness before the vote? Yes, I have unrest. What is it? I don't know, but I need to go back and something's bothering me. What is it that you undeferred in 2023? For me, I undeferred some travel, undeferred some projects, undeferred just the power of what I wanted and focused on. I've been adulting and parenting for so long that the kids have launched and done their thing. They grown. One child is cruising around, literally around the world. Other one's off in med school. Like, what I got to do? Oh, I know. Let me turn back in my podcast. Some of the things I put off because people didn't believe in my dream, and I put it off because I was too busy trying to hear what you said to worry about. I had to do. Put my stuff over here, and you went on about your journey, but I left my stuff over there, and I'm mad about it. That's not your fault. That's my fault. So what 2023 was about was undeferring. People were mad. Where's Mark? Mark is where Mark need to be. Mark, why aren't you doing more for Capital? Listen, I've done enough for Capital 36 years. I'm straight right now. I'll be right here. I'm a dues paying lifetime member. I ain't going nowhere. You know, Cap is in my heart. However, what you're not going to do is wear me to death about every committee, every meeting, every whatever, because I've done that work. I've done that work. So I had to undefer. I had to defer some of that stuff, right? That was hard, but I'm still involved, but not like I used to be. It's okay. Allow other people to step in and learn the game and keep the fraternity fresh and growing. It's okay to slide over and become wisdom. It's okay to slide over and become the voice of reason in the background. It's okay to let someone else lead, let them struggle and grow, because that's what we're all about, achievement in every field of human endeavor. But I can't let you achieve if I'm standing in your way. So I turned around and undeferred some projects that I wanted to go get down, and y'all just email me when you truly, truly need me. That's how 2023 went. And it's okay, right? So hopefully your word of 2023 was strong enough and impactful enough and moving enough to keep you going all through 2024. It's supposed to be a word that anchors you and holds you down when you feel yourself sliding away. When you feel yourself moving away from center, you should be able to pull that word and get you right back to center to keep you focused. That's what the word of the year concept is. For years, I've been walking the word of the year. Some years the word was amazing. Some years were not so strong. I actually had to change one in the middle of the year. The year before was willing, right? I had to be willing to do stuff, not because I was lazy, not because I wouldn't have the skill set. I was not willing to do the things necessary to go. But I had to be willing to undefer what was behind me so I can go where I want to go now. What's the next step in the phrase and the steps of where we got to go brings us to my word of the year. My word of the year is fearless. 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 It's funny how that word kind of came around because I wasn't quite settled on elevate and accelerate. I've already used accelerate years ago. And again, there's nothing wrong with using the word again. If it was bomb back then, it could be for you right now, or it could not. So there's nothing wrong with that. So if you want to reuse the word from last year, if I'd have done undeferred again this year because I wasn't finished, I will still be undeferring. And I'm still going to be undeferring because I ain't finished. But for conversation's sake, the next step after being willing and undeferring is to take some actions. Well, sometimes some actions are going to cause some fears. There's a reason why I got deferred. Maybe because I was afraid of something. Maybe something was bothering me. If I'm being transparent, there's a lot of stuff that I do and have done in 2023 that came out to the good. I was fearful about making moves, fearful about acquiring another piece of property, fearful about getting some stuff done or getting another license line to add into the collection, because now I'm fearful of what will they really like what I have, and can I give them the product that they really desire and need, or where is that niche, right? But unfortunately for me is I don't get to rest on fear. You got to lean on experience. I'm a retailer from a long time ago. I got 30 plus in on retail. I should be able to, from an intuitive business standpoint, look at a market, decide what is missing in said market, test it, run it, bring it, dominate it. But yet I was afraid if they're going to like it. See how that irrational stuff creep in? I can lay all the formulas down. You can do all the gyrations you want, break out the abacus and slide it up and down, break out your geometrical and datas and charts and PowerPoint it all the way to death, but it still comes down to the emotional stuff between your ears and in your heart to whether or not you believe it will work. And that's when we have our problem with the one-on-one conversations, the you versus you conversation that says to yourself, am I able to do this or not? Yes, you can. I don't know. Yes, you can. I don't think you should. You got to have these whole conversations. And we talked about this time and time again. You got to win the you versus you battle. Silence the whispers, as my mama likes to say, because it's true. Our biggest problem when it comes to fear is not the external. It's not the opportunity of something going to work or not work. I won't say fail, because we should be learning from every situation. Is us. We're the biggest competitor on the block when it comes to making us sit on the bench. And as I try to keep us off the bench, we have to deal with fear. We have to deal with it. I'm not saying you should be void of fear. We need some fear is good. God didn't give us he gave us spirit. I got the spirit of discernment. Okay. Well, I need to discern that sometimes fear is good. And sometimes you can make some better decisions. And I'll be questioning, are you sure you got discernment? I'm questioning it quietly in my mind, because that's not my business. But for me, I got to make sure that I'm answering my questions too. Like, what is it that you really are afraid of? Could it be that you're afraid of the responsibility that comes with success? Could you be afraid of the lights being so bright and so hot At that moment, all eyes on you. You don't want that smoke. You revert back, and you sabotage yourself. My beloved Browns, the lights were too big. The lights were too big. I question whether or not the goal was to win a playoff game. Follow the logic. I question whether or not the Cleveland Browns' goal was to win a playoff game, or were the goals to have a 10-11 win season and to make the playoffs. You see the difference? They achieved both those goals. But the tertiary goal was not necessarily to win a playoff game. That's probably next year. To get to double digits and to get into the playoffs is a worthy, admirable goal, which they achieved. Because they damn sure didn't show like they had another goal when they came to play. I'm like, what in the world? CJ Stroud back there looking like looking like Patrick Mahomes. He 18. He's 19 years old. Ping, 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 ping. Defense. Myles Garrett came out and kind of alluded to the fact like, yo, I don't think the defensive coordinator tried to change anything. I just think we just stayed with it. And that's a sign of the coach that he was actually fearful of changing anything that got him there. Dance with the person you brought to the dance. Well, if she can't dance, I came to dance, somebody gonna be on the sideline holding these drinks. I'm gonna get my two-step on. You make any adjustments? You didn't do what the great ones do. They made the adjustment at halftime to do what they need to do in the second half. You watch the Super Bowl, the team that's got the early lead in the first half is oftentimes not the team that wins. They're not. They get excited, they get comfortable, the team goes over and make adjustments, and the team that's behind in the second half oftentimes wins the Super Bowl. Why? Because they made adjustments and the other team did not. So you got to ask the question, are you afraid of success? We know Dallas Cowboy fan is afraid of success. They don't want it. They ain't about that life. They're about the hype. Steelers fan, talking about you right now. Y'all don't want that smoke either. Even though you've won some chips, and I love my frat brother Tomlin over there as long as he ain't playing the Browns. But they weren't ready. They were just happy to get there. And we often are afraid of the next step. But we are approaching our goal. We are really not ready for goal 2 and 3 and 4. Priority. One priority at a time, right? Not priorities. There's a priority. And then there's a next one. And then the next one. So you get one. So what happened? They're afraid of success. And that could be possibly your situation. You need to address all that. You need to actually bring it up and have a discussion with yourself and your team and go, what are you afraid of? Sometimes I am afraid of the success that could come my way. I'll often play the back because I don't want to necessarily be in front of everybody. It's kind of hard to miss me at 6'6" walking through the door. So I kind of lay to the back instead of being the powerful presenter, the person I'm supposed to be. Now on stage, not a problem. Other places, kind of play the back. I don't want to have to stand out. You know, people keep calling me to do stuff. Well, they cannot call you at all. You can just be there. So you've got to be fearless in those situations. And sometimes I am fearful that these are what's going to happen. And then you move inside of that fear. And I think that's the beauty of it all. You can have fear and be fearful, but still move forward anyway. In spite of your fear, you move forward. Not absent of it. Not like, I'm straight to the cannons. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to walk forward cautiously, predictably, where you're trying to go in spite of fear, because you know what? We recognize I will never get to my next level if fear is holding me back. And what is your fear? Or what are your fears? You need to analyze that and bring it down. So that's the word. So if you want to fear, you're fearless, the goal is actually to fear less. Unless you hyphenate. Fear less. What am I referring to? I'm saying that the list of things that I fear, that you're going to list down, you working to fear less in those areas. When you acknowledge it, they want me to do this presentation. I know for a fact that I get nervous here, 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 and here. Well, how can we fear less, Mark? I know. Let's get some training. Let's get some reps in. Let's get with our coach. Let's get with our circle. Let's talk through these areas of what I need to take care of. And oftentimes the fear comes in the lack of preparation. If you are not prepared for the moment will take you over and take you out. Again, I insert the Browns. They were not prepared for the moment. but they achieved their goals for the season. You can't even be mad at that. Out of Dallas, they achieved their goal of getting into the playoffs, but they were not ready to go to the next step, right? Because they were not feeling less of things. They're probably in their own heads at this point. They probably just need a whole visit from Dr. Valencia Wiggins to talk to the whole team to get them out of this funk thing. And it ain't even a curse no more. It's just a way of life. It's a culture thing. It's an expectation. The prop bet on them not winning that game was ridiculous. I don't bet, but I probably could have made money off that one. Anyway, rolling back to what I was talking about. We need to fear less this year. And I want you to dig in, because the things that you said that you want to do, the word that you're dropping this year and the goals that you put on your vision board and you got written down, all of your nice little journals what will keep you from those goals is the fear you put on yourself. But if you can fear less in those areas and drive a little bit harder, you can actually do a little bit better. If you could actually, as I like to say, take that fear and turn it into fuel, you will propel yourself past your fear into your success and into power. The fear, not being afraid to do it or being afraid of what's going to happen. If you take it to fuel, what you're saying is, I'm more concerned about what if I don't do it? What if I don't do it? I don't want to live with those questions. I'm scared though, but I'm more concerned about not doing it than would I do it? You know what I'm saying? You've got to understand that the energy that you need to push you forward often lies in the way that you speak it. Change the way that you put it out there, and that thing that you're afraid of could also be the thing that drives you forward. You hear about this from your top leaders. Their fear of failure is so great that it drives them. Not the fear of success, the fear of failure. What happens if I don't innovate? What happens if I don't bring on this new product? What if I don't hire this new young gun over here? I could put myself in a position I won't be able to recover from, or a business recover from. I'm too afraid that someone have more power than me or more energy than me. No, we need to bring them in and harness to train them, get us behind us and push us forward. So you've got to do those areas if you want to make sure, if you want to fear less in 2024. And that is a journey I'm on this year. You'll hear it in What Wednesdays. You're going to read about it in the magazine, how to fear less this year in 2024. But as always, as you know, I got 3.5 ways to be more fearless in 2024. Number one, I already kind of said it. Once you list your fears, list them out. What is it? What are the false evidence of things appearing real, or fake evidence of things appearing real? Fear. And what is it? What do you fear? I fear success. I feel failure. I feel rejection. I feel aloneness. I feel abandonment. What do I fear? Because if you're going to attack this thing this year, you got to list it out. Just like you list your goals, list those fears off to the side too, and because that way you'll know when they start creeping up. When you start hearing the mantra in your head starting to shift, whoa. This is one of my fear points. I need to do something about that. I need to do something about that right now. I knew it was coming. I'm prepared for it, and move on to the next step, right? You got to list out your fears so you know what it is that's driving you. And that just comes with, again, a knowing of oneself. If you not spend any time with yourself, it's often a very daunting task. Spend 24 hours with Mark Wiggins. Mark Wiggins don't like Mark Wiggins sometimes. It's a hard. Mark Wiggins is a geez. But I got to spend time with myself to know thyself, and to thyself be true. Who are you? What are you? Put it on the line. I'm a hard driving, wheeling, dealing, kiss stealing son of a gun. Woo! That's my Ric Flair. It's hard to keep these getters down. Y'all don't, Ric Flair anyway. But know who you are and understand that, because that's what you're dealing with. And the better and faster that you acknowledge that, get some support behind that, then you can make moves. Which brings me to step number 2. Once you list your fears, I want you to mitigate those fears. I want you to lessen the blow of those things. If you are afraid of success, if you're afraid of that, then what about success is the problem? List it. Then find ways to get around it. Oftentimes, you probably just need a coach. Maybe you need some therapy sessions to talk through these irrational things that you are making so big, so hard that you stay on the bench, that you don't want to get in. They like you. The time that they look down the bench at me, I look back at them. I lean back and like, who are they looking at? Mark Wiggins, it's time for you to start. I need you to get in the second half of this game at Maple Heights High School. We were playing mentor Mentor, Ohio. I'll never forget the game. I'll never forget the moment. It was one of those big moments in my life where I'm up from JV and they needed me to get in the second half because the dude in front of me fouled. I was fouling out. I'm like, I had a choice to make. I'm good. And I will never have any more basketball stories. There would be no college. There would be no knees. There'd be no nothing. But I went in spite of my fear because I ain't sweat for 15 minutes and played. But you got the fear of air balls, dribbling off your foot, wrong layups, trying to take a charge, getting blocked, getting your stuff blocked, getting dunked on. Lord, nobody wants to get dunked on. That's a fear, but it's a part of the game. If you don't get dunked on, you ain't playing. You ain't trying, right? List your fears and mitigate your fears, and then put a plan of action together. Then engage your plan. Engage your plan and take those fears out. Make sure you are able to handle them and get with coaches and do what you need to do and put your plan into place to limit what you're talking about, because those things are keep you rooted in being on the bench. We talk about getting off the bench. If you've not caught on by now, do you really recognize that it's really just a mental shift from dreaming to action? Yeah, I got a dream, then I got a plan, and that's usually where it dies, on plan. But if I'm dreaming, I'm planning, then I got to take next steps, take action. I got to engage my plan. I got to engage your energy. You have to engage everything that you want to engage your potential. I've talked about that too. Engaging your potential. Potential is just unrealized energy. And until you affect it on something and it takes that point and it makes it move, which is called the work, and you can measure the work by the energy applied to said object, that's what gets you moving. And if you're still sitting on the bench because you're afraid, because you haven't mitigated your fears, and now you have an opportunity to take that step, the next step, then you will still be stuck on the bench. Right? That's number 3. And here comes the point 5. Look, there's last year's word. Be willing to grow. This is all about growth. It's all about growth, and growth is painful. But it's so much better when you get through that phase into the next phase that you can be a better you. Everybody say better, better. Be willing to grow. It's like when I picked that word willing, the conversation was about someone who was, they called the kid lazy. Oh, he did lazy. He did lazy. And the psychologist said, he is not lazy. He is unwilling to change. And that just changed my whole perspective. A lot of the stuff that we won't do is because we're unwilling to do it. Call it what it is, flat out. You just don't want to. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. I just don't want to. You quick to tell everybody what you ain't gonna do. How about you tell me what you gonna do? How about tell me what you're fixing to do? Stop telling me what you ain't gonna do, because we know you ain't willing to do that. But what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do to get to your goals, to your place in life, your station in life? These are not my goals. These are yours. So what are you willing to do for you? I'm over here trying to make my life better, and I'm sharing with everyone else to help motivate. But my real question to you is, what are you willing to undefer to be fearless in 2024? What is it? And when you can figure it out, you'll be on your way. Then you can engage your word of the year too. You're engaged with, I promise you, things that you're not ready to do this year, some of it is fear. Some of the words that you put out already that I've seen from some friends is attacking fear. I'm gonna be more assertive this year. Well, why wasn't assertive before? I was afraid. Fear. I'm gonna do more time and I'm gonna travel more. Why didn't you travel before? Because I didn't have the fear. And it's okay. I'm with you. Raise his hand. I was right there with you. But what I'm not going to be is right there with you this time next year. So I'm going to use fearless. This is what we're doing. We're going to fearless this year to fear less this year. And you're going to ride with me. We're going to off this bench. Again, I am Mark Wiggins. And as always, as we wrap this down, if you can reach your dreams with a step ladder, then they are and remain too low.